My name is Zarema Malakhayeva. I am from Chechnya. Poland is a country in Central Europe, between the sea in the north and the mountains in the south. It has more than 38 million inhabitants. The largest Polish cities are Warsaw, Krakow, Łódź, Wrocław, Poznan. Poland is a democratic republic. The citizens elect the president and the Sejm and the Senate in general election. The currency is called zloty. 1 zloty is divided into 100 grosz. Poland is not a member of the Eurozone, although it has been an EU member state for 11 years. More than 90% of the population are Poles. Most numerous among national minorities are Germans, Ukrainians, Belarusians and Russians. The majority of Poles are Catholics. The Poland's constitution guarantees freedom of religion and conscience. Everyone has equal rights and can practice their faith. The first paper I got from the border guards. It is a temporary certificate of identity, valid for 30 days. Now I must apply for a new document. This should be done before the expiry of the temporary certificate of identity. Good morning. Please be informed that our conversation is confidential. Also, I must remind you that in the case of perjury, you may be subject to criminal prosecution. The procedure for the refugee status usually lasts 6 months. If it is extended for any reason, you can apply for a work permit. For the duration of the procedure, we have to withhold your passport. We will return the document after the procedure is ended. After applying for international protection, I have the right to stay in Poland until the decision is issued. Anyone who applies for international protection must appear at the office for interview. The conversation makes it possible to obtain the necessary information. We will notify you by mail of the interview date. If you do not appear for an interview, we will take into account only the material collected earlier. This may result in discontinuation of the refugee status determination procedure. The country in which you have submitted the first application shall be responsible for examining it. In your case, this country is Poland. Should you leave Poland and submit the application in another country, you will be referred back to the country of your first application anyway. By submitting an application for international protection in Poland, you undertake to stay in the territory of the country until the procedure has ended. The beneficiaries of international protection are people who in their own country are in danger of persecution due to race, religion, nationality, political views, or membership to a particular social group. If you do not meet one of these criteria, the decision may be negative. In case of any problems, please report to the centre staff. Applicants for international protection are entitled to social assistance. The assistance is provided by a centre for foreigners. It is sufficient to report at the centre as indicated in the referral. For the time of waiting for the decision regarding the refugee status, we provide accommodation and catering at the centre. Meals are served 3 times a day in the cafeteria. The centre ensures protection and basic medical care. If necessary, a physician will refer you to a specialist. You must undergo relevant epidemiological procedures. The centre will ensure a medical consultation and collecting of blood samples. For chest X-ray, you will be transported to a hospital. The tests are a prerequisite for staying at the centre. There is a kindergarten, a school, a playground and sports field at the centre. We also have a kitchen. We may invite our friends for a visit, but first we have to obtain the consent of the manager. There are rules to follow at the centre. You must take care of your children and do not leave them unattended. Children in kindergarten age and younger must always be looked after by their parents, even when playing within the centre. Please pay attention to tidiness and cleanliness in your room and in common areas. You should take care of the items entrusted to you, bed linen and kitchen utensils. Before leaving the centre, you must return them. Quiet hours are between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. In the centre, you are not allowed to smoke outside the designated places, consume alcohol or take drugs, use violence, disturb the peace of others, enable overnight stay of people from outside the centre. The residents have also certain rights. They can practice their religion in special premises. They may also get assistance of a psychologist. They have the right to participate in meetings organised in the centre and submit motions, from applications to complaints. While living at the centre, you are entitled to an allowance, 50 zlotys a month and 20 zlotys for cleaning agents. At the commencement of the procedure, you will receive a one-off allowance of 140 zlotys for clothing. We also pay in lieu of meals, 9 zlotys. For children up to 6 years and children in school age attending school, there is a payment amounting to 9 zlotys for each child. School age children who stay in the centre and do not attend school are provided with meals. Accommodation at the centre is not compulsory. A foreigner may submit an application for monthly cash benefits and accommodation outside the centre, but then he or she should find a place of residence by themselves and provide the address to social care workers. The employees of the office must be informed of any change of the place of residence. Cash benefits will be available every month in the indicated centre or by postal order. In Poland, children are subject to compulsory education. The workers of the centre will help residents to enrol children at school. Foreigners from outside must report at the nearest school on their own. The residents can attend free Polish classes. All children receiving compulsory education will be provided with a complete school starter kit. I have received a notice of the day of the interview. I have to go to the office in Warsaw. For many foreigners, preparation of documents necessary to obtain a positive decision may prove difficult. But they are always entitled to free legal aid provided by non-governmental organisations. The contact details can also be found in the handbook First Steps in Poland, provided after the admission to the centre. If you are not granted the refugee status, you have to leave Poland. However, this decision can be appealed. The decision to leave one's own country is very difficult. It's good to know that you can always get assistance in voluntary return. If you would like to go back to your country, our help would include the purchase of a ticket, coverage of costs related to travel documents, necessary visas and permits, individual counselling on voluntary return, and also medical care on the go in exceptional circumstances. If that is your decision, we will help. The decision granting refugee status is issued in writing. When the refugee status or a subsidiary protection status is granted, it means the right to stay in Poland. The residence card is valid for 2 to 3 years. Within 60 days of the decision, you can file an application for Individual Integration Programme. Useful information. Travelling by WKD on the route Otrą-Busy-Warsaw is free of charge for persons undergoing the refugee procedure. While travelling, you should have a temporary certificate of identity with you. To travel by other transport means, such as bus, tram or metro, you will need to buy a ticket. Tickets are available at newspapers agents and some grocery stores. They can also be purchased at ticket machines, from the bus driver or the tram driver. In the latter two cases, you must always have the exact amount. You need to validate the ticket as soon as possible in one of the ticket validators. There can be a ticket inspection during travel. Keep your ticket for the duration of the trip. Travelling without valid tickets is subject to high fines. Useful addresses and contact details. Office for Foreigners, Koszykowa, 16. Office for Foreigners, Taborowa, 33. International Organization for Migration, IOM, the office in Warsaw, Marienstadt, 8. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Agency in Poland, Aleja Szucha, 13/15, flat number 17. Family Support Centre Headquarters, Lipinska 2. Refugee Board, Aleja Szucha, 14. Mailing address, Aleja Ujazdowska, 1/3, 00583, Warszawa.